they did call me that day and let me know that they diagnosed the issue and they identified that there was an internal damper error. And they told me out of abundance of caution, they're going to replace the entire suspension system on the vehicle. I'm just going to go over all the things that they actually replaced because it was quite a bit. And this, you see this list right here. When I say they have replaced my entire suspension system, I mean they replaced the entire system. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Well, in today's video, we're going to be discussing my service experience with my Rivian R1T, and it's a Quad Motor Max pack, and I'm headed to pick it up right now. And it's been in the service center for about a week, and I want to discuss everything as far as the timeline. And I did make another video on this, and you probably already saw it already, just as far as how I went about scheduling the service appointment and things like that. But in this video, I'm going to discuss my overall service experience as far as how long my vehicle was in the shop, what they had to fix, how was the communication process as far as keeping me informed as far as what was going on with my vehicle and things like that. And then once I get my vehicle, I'm going to let you know if it's fixed or not. And that may take a day or two to make sure that everything is good to go. And also, if you can, just take a few moments to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, especially if you haven't subscribed already and you watch more than a few of my videos. I really love bringing this content to you. And, you know, in case you're planning on getting a Rivian, you'll know what to get into. And this is just unfiltered. None of my stuff is scripted. This is just, I just do stuff as it's happening. And so we're going to find all this stuff out together. So let's go ahead and get into this. I am headed to the service center to turn my Rivian in for service. They did call me back the day before, a couple days ago, and they rescheduled my service for today, which is Thursday, and it's October 9th. And so I'm very happy about that because my original appointment was set for the 14th, and so this is really helpful as far as getting this situation taken care of. Usually when I first drive the vehicle in the morning, I don't have that warning, but what happens is once I stop, then the suspension warning shows up. And so I was very happy when I woke up. I didn't have to worry about that issue, and I was able to drive in without incident. And so, yeah, I'm here at the service center right now. They don't have any vehicles here. There's like no inventory. Nothing. Usually there's some cars here, and I don't see much of anything. Okay, there's some delivery parking over here. And yeah, but that's it. Delivery staging. There's some guest parking and delivery staging. But yeah, not many vehicles here. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get parked, and I'll see you all back a little later. So I turned my Rivian in for service, my quad motor, and this is the loaner vehicle right here. This is a Generation 2 dual motor with the performance package on it. And pretty good vehicle, and this has the 20-inch all-terrain tires. I'm gonna check this out. This is a good, nice looking vehicle. And I did a test drive one of these some months back, and yeah, this is a pretty good vehicle. And hopefully they can get my issue fixed. And I'm gonna have the confidence they will be able to get it fixed. They've been outstanding thus far, which is another reason why I stuck with the brand. Okay, I just arrived to the service center, and yeah, there's still no vehicles out here. As far as Rivians, they did say they stage them inside. I do see a few inside the building, but yeah, over this side is normally where they keep all the vehicles, and there's nothing. There's one Rivian right there. It looks like a tri-motor. Yeah, there's nothing. So I guess they probably went through a lot of inventory already. And there she is. There is my Quad Motor Max. And yeah, I can't wait to get back into that. All righty. Yeah, there she is right there. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and park this Canyon Red Rivian. And they call this vehicle Mario. So even on the key fob here, the key card that says Mario on here. I think it's the appropriate name for the vehicle. And there is my vehicle right there. And I can't wait to hop back into it. So I'm gonna go inside and get all my stuff out, and then get my vehicle, and I'll be back a little later. Hello everyone, I'm back, and I just picked my vehicle up, and just when I hit the accelerator, I can already, just moving out of the parking lot, I can already tell the difference. But yeah, they repaired a lot of stuff on this vehicle. They changed out a lot of things. And I'm just gonna test it on the way home just to see how, and over the next few days, because some of the stuff may not be apparent just on a drive home, but it may take a few days to really see what the differences are. But this thing is already riding better. And I would just say, just right off the bat, one of the things they changed out the entire suspension system. They said there was an internal damper error, and I think it was actually in a driver's side damper, not even on the side that had the blowout. So it was actually on the other side. But out of abundance of caution, they decided they just changed out the entire thing. Which, hey, it says since it's a new vehicle, and that's great service. I'm really happy that they did that. Again, when you get these new vehicles, and it's the first iteration of them, you're kind of a beta tester, so you have to be willing to take that risk if you want to get a new product and be one of the first ones to have a new product. It just kind of comes with the territory. Man, this drives a lot better than that Dual Max. It just drives a lot better. I'm not sure if it's well, obviously this is a different suspension system because they just replaced the suspension. Also, the wind noise. They adjusted the door. And I'll show you all this when I get home, or when I can get the vehicle parked. It may be dark when I get home, but yeah, the wind noise is, yeah, because I'm going 70 and I don't hear it. And you can definitely tell where they adjusted the door, and I'll show all of that. When I get that work order, I'll go over everything that they did. But does this thing drive better? Unless it's psychological, it is driving even better than it was when I originally purchased this vehicle. So far they did an outstanding job. So outstanding job, Rivian, and one of the technicians or service advisors that I was working with is who came out and went over everything with me. His name is Brian, and world-class customer service again, Rivian. I really appreciate it. And this thing is driving quite nicely, I have to say. Glad to be back in the quad motor. Still smells like a brand new vehicle too. And they definitely corrected that wind noise. So that, whatever they did when they adjusted the door, they definitely corrected that problem. Oh, this thing drives so much better. Yeah, baby. Oh, it's so much more quiet, it's more smooth. The only thing I still have left is I have to replace my front tire. But I'm gonna go ahead and drive home, and then we'll talk about everything that they fixed, and as far as we'll go over everything in detail, and I'll see you all back a little later. Hello everyone, I'm back, and now I'm going to walk you through all the things that they fixed on my Rivian R1T, and I'm also going to discuss my overall service experience. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, first of all, obviously, as I stated earlier, they did replace the suspension system, and so that's good to go now. And I also had them to adjust my charge port door here, which they did that also. And the other big issue item here was my door. And so I have my key, and now check this out. And so now the door is behind the A-pillar. And see, now I have to stick the card like this for it to go in. And if I do this, like I did before, now you can see there's a gap the way it's supposed to be. And so it's definitely sitting behind the A-pillar now. And if you looked at my last video, so how uneven this door was. And now check this out. Yeah, it's nice and even. And the greatest thing is that it eliminated that wind noise. So I don't have that wind noise anymore. So very happy about that. And I would have to say, as far as the ride quality, and I've been driving this again for the last couple of days, and it has improved dramatically. I mean, I can't wait to get in this vehicle and drive around in it now. It's like I just got to make up places to go. But yeah, the ride quality has improved dramatically. And also there's a rattle on this door, so every time I hit a bump, it would make this rattling noise, and when it was just annoying. I could never figure out where it was coming from. Shortly after I arrived to the service center, and after I signed all my documentation for the loaner vehicle, the technician came out with me, and I walked over everything with him as far as what was wrong. And then he hopped in the vehicle and we rode around. He wanted to hear where the rattling was coming from, and he was able to identify the noise himself. And so that went awesome. I dropped the vehicle off on the 9th, and then throughout the process, they communicated with me what was going on. They kept me informed, and I can just show you all here in my Rivian app right here. It says completed at the top, and it says truck SUV doors. And this just goes over all the little detailed stuff. You see right here, you can go through service history. And I just click on here and it shows there was 6 requests in here. And so this just goes through all the messages that I had throughout. After I dropped my vehicle off on the 9th, they did call me that day and let me know that they diagnosed the issue and they identified that there was an internal damper error. And they told me out of abundance of caution, they were going to replace the entire suspension system on the vehicle. They said they want to take a chance as a newer vehicle and they just want to make sure I'm taken care of. And I thought that was quite awesome. So that made me feel pretty good about that. And so throughout the process, I've received updates every day for the most part, as far as, let me know exactly when they thought the vehicle was going to be done, when the parts were coming in. In fact, on the 13th of October, they let me know that they received the parts, and it's all right here. They received the parts and they're going to be beginning installing them. And then, October 15th, they said, they let me know my stuff was completed and I can pick my vehicle up. And so all throughout the process, not only did I receive text messages in the app, but they also called me. So I was fully aware of what was going on. I also had Mario, the Canyon Red Rivian, and it was nice having a dual max performance vehicle. So I was not in a rush to turn my vehicle in. I was in another Rivian, and so it was good. I was fine. But I'll tell you, it was great to get my Rivian back. But I'm just going to go over all the things that they actually replaced because it was quite a bit. And you see this list right here. When I say they replaced my entire suspension system, I mean they replaced the entire system. And this was the invoice, and you can get these. You can find these invoices in your Rivian app, as I just showed you. And matter of fact, I'll just show you again here. And so right here under messages, and then you have right above there, you have invoices. So once I click on this, it pulls out the PDF for my everything that they fixed on the vehicle, all the communications. So when they diagnose the vehicle, it says internal hydraulic leakage in suspension system. Check and replace dampers with hydraulic pump and manifold to restore hydraulic suspension operation. And it says correction for remedy. It says suspension diagnostic, damper front left, damper front right, damper rear left, damper rear right, remove and replace. Pump, hydraulic suspension, remove and replace. Manifold, hydraulic suspension, remove and replace. Hydraulic fluid, drain and refill, flush hydraulic suspension system. And just look at this long list of all the things that they replaced. It was quite a bit of things. And so when they said they replaced my entire suspension system, they replaced the entire suspension system on this vehicle. And then it also discusses a right door misalignment. And it says they did the correction on that, which they did. And I just showed you that. And also the door rattling. Right here it says customer states that there was a rattle coming from the inside right front door, and the rattle's worse on rough and bumpy road surfaces. Cause there's a rattle coming from inside the front right door due to loose window drive in right hand front door. Secure and torque window regulated mounting bolts and confirm repair. And so whatever they did fix that issue because that rattle was no longer in the door. And also they adjusted the charge port door. And so they did an outstanding job. Like they communicated with me throughout the process. When I picked the vehicle up, they went over everything with me in detail. Very, very good customer service. World-class customer service, I would say. This has just been my overall experience with the Rivian Service Center. And this is my third Rivian. So we have a Rivian R1S and I have my Gen 1 Rivian R1T. And so I have experience dropping my vehicles off. And I will also say that, they're so nice and courteous that I don't even mind going to the service center. It's like, going to see some old friends. So if you can, go into the comment section and let me know what your Rivian service experience has been, because I hear different things, and I think a lot of it has to do with location. Of course, not all places are going to be created equal. And I've heard people who've had to wait months and months for their service. I have never experienced that. In fact, this may have been the longest one, maybe. And I had to wait maybe a week or so, if that, but it wasn't really a rush. I could still drive my vehicle, but they did move me up as soon as they possibly could to get the issue taken care of. And they only had it for about a week, in which I fully expected that to be the case, especially if you're changing out an entire suspension system. And I can just say again that this vehicle It is so much better now. Yeah, I don't know what they did. Well, yes, I do know what they did, but yeah, it is a lot better driving this vehicle now. I thought it was good before, but now that they got rid of that wind noise and that rattle, and this suspension it just puts a smile on my face. Now it's even better than it was before. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. But that's all I have for today. I'd like to thank you for joining me once again. And I can't wait to see you in the next video.